good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are and whatever time it is that this video finds you. I hope you're staying safe. I hope you're staying warm, you, your families, and your loved ones. We have to do all the safe practices as we're still in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. My name is Sam Williams. I'm the supervisor for the Community Awareness Series of the Jersey City Free Public Library. We are the Cultural Arts Department of the Jersey City Free Public Library. You're joining us here in February as we're celebrating African American History Month. CAS is going on 45 or between 44 and 45 years old. As of this year, October, will be 45 years old. African American History Month is a celebration and commemoration that we have been celebrating for the past 4 decades. Today you're going to join us for a program called Urban Forum, Spotlight on the Community. And we're going to be visiting a few locations today and talking with a few of Jersey City's leaders. The first location will be the Bethune Center, where we'll get to see the facility and all the wonderful activities that take place there and meet the director, who is a world-renowned artist, has worked with many different organizations, many different groups, and his name is Alvin Pettit. And another leader here in Jersey City that we will be visiting is Mr. Jerome Choice, who we also happen to have the privilege of working with here at Community Awareness Series. And he's very connected in the community, dealing with the Friends of Berry Lane Park, as well as the Jersey City Historical Society, and one of the lead researchers of the African Burial Ground. And today we'll be focusing on the African Burial Ground with Mr. Jerome Choice. So thank you for joining us, and we're going to get on the road and go visit a few locations.
We want to welcome you to another Community Awareness Series program of the Jersey City Free Public Library. My name is David Williams, and we're here with the Bethune Center Director, Alvin Pettit, who's the administrator for the center, as well as a distinguished and renowned artist as well. And so we're going to delve into what the center stands for, what it provides for the community, and what some of the goals and objectives of the center. So we want to welcome Director Alvin Pettit for being a part of the program. So Alvin, you've been a director of the center for how long?
I came on in 2013, so I guess roughly almost pushing 8 years now.
Yes, yes, and what have been some of your early challenges in becoming the administrator director?
Well, when I was brought on initially, I had to learn a lot about the Bethune Center. I understand that it was predominantly being used at the time as a rental hall for parties and whatnot, and also most of the lower level of the center was mostly like private businesses. We had some daycare centers here, different kind of businesses going on. And our agenda as we came in 2013 was to kind of transform it into a community, keep the community part of it, but also transform it into a cultural center so that people could come here. We still do the rental space. We still have, for people that want to do their private events here, we still are a venue for that. At the same time, though, we have provided different programming that's free to the community of different art and culture, fitness, wellness programs, educational programs, all the things that the center was not being used for before. And that was kind of, when I came on, my background, as you said, is in the arts, so that was always a big part of my agenda, is wanting to make sure the community has that. And now some of the challenges were, early on, was surprisingly enough from the community. It's kind of like you get pushback when certain things, when I think that folks or whatever aren't used to or have become accustomed to. So it's kind of like when we first started building galleries in here, or putting in dance studios and coming in with all kind of fitness programs. We got a lot of, well, why do we need that? Or why do we need that? We need this, we need that. Basically people saying what they were just formerly used to seeing, they just wanted more of. But I think we had a plan and we knew what was missing. I mean, I've lived in Jersey City now. I'm originally from Baltimore, Maryland, but I've lived in Jersey City for close to 30 years. and I know what we didn't have in our community. And so therefore, I want to make sure that happened. Now, ironically, the community loves it. Community, we don't have to argue about why we're doing galleries or why we're doing stage performances. They come to us and they bring it in. So it's almost kind of like, Field the Dream slogan, build it and they'll come. And that's probably been very accurate when it comes to the Bethune Center.
So, in your opinion, why is it important to have diverse cultural arts in our community?
Because if you look at any municipality, any city, any town or whatever, the success of that city is synonymous with a thriving cultural community. You don't have one without the other. You go anywhere across probably the country or the world. So therefore, I wanted to make sure that, well, what we were doing here was bringing it also to this community, because what you have probably in the past, and whether you look at areas like in New York, like whether it be Soho, Williamsburg, the Village, or different Hoboken, when you start seeing like a cultural community, you also start seeing a lack of diversity, and you also don't see as many. You don't see it coming to certain neighborhoods, predominantly for Black and brown people that don't have those things in the neighborhood. So it becomes almost arts and culture then becomes synonymous with gentrification, and that's a bad thing when it's looked at in those terms, because then it almost makes folks who are looking at it from the outside in say, okay, well, we don't want that because it also represents displacement and stuff. And one thing that we wanted to make sure is what we had the Bethune Center is like, no, this is not for somebody else. This is for all of Jersey City, but it's also predominantly for the people in this community, so that, you don't have to, wonder where a lot of folks don't have access to venues if they want to paint or show art, or if they want to come and do a yoga class. You either have to go downtown for that in the past, or you got to go to certain communities to do that. Well, we wanted to make sure that we had it here for people in this community, so that they could come right out of their door and walk across the street or walk down the block and have it right here in this neighborhood.
And that's important.
Yes.
It also tells the history of a particular culture, in this case African Americans,
Yes.
and culture is like the soul of a community. And I know our association with the Bethune Center has been very positive. We're happy to see this thrive, and I think that's one of the reasons we wanted to do this video for African American History Month. And like you said, it's for everybody, but there is a spotlight on the African American community and what the community has contributed to the city and that. So the other side of it too is when you said we brought in all these different type of activities. Just off the top of your head, can you name some of the groups or people that have blessed the center?
Oh, you're one of them. You performed here and stuff.
Thank you.
In your band. But I mean, we've had celebrities come here. We've had guest speakers from everybody from Fred the Hammer Williams to Al Sharpton to Ben Vereen. A lot of folks have come through here and used the center to connect with the public and whatnot. And we hopefully continue to attract those type of well-known faces, because it actually helps bring attention to the center. And but just going on to another note, is what you were saying before, just as far as the importance of having this in an African American community, because you don't know sometimes, when I was saying before, when you give people a venue to express themselves creatively, or not for whatever other program we were doing, health or fitness and stuff, you'll be surprised what it awakens in a community when they have a venue to explore those areas of humanity that a lot of neighborhoods of African American, Black, brown, immigrant neighborhoods don't have. So when you put it there, you find that there was almost a hunger for it that you don't think is there, but now that people have it to use, it was always here all along. You just have to make, our goal was to make sure that we put the right venues and the right outlets here for people to express that. When I first came on as a director in 2013, a lot of people said, well, you should do a survey to find out what the community is looking for and stuff like that. I said, no, I don't want to do a survey. I don't want to do a survey because you can't expect the answers that you want to get if, folks are not, if the answer is something that people have not been exposed to yet, then you can't expect to get the answers that you need or you're looking for. So, like I said, living in the community, myself and my staff, people over here, we knew what was missing. We knew what you don't have. We knew what we have to go downtown for. We know we have to go down to across the water for in New York and whatnot. Right. There was things that I always loved in Harlem. I always loved going to the Schomburg Museum or the Studio Museum of Harlem and whatnot. So I still go there and try to get some of those ideas and try to bring them back here so the community here can experience without having to cross the Hudson.
Right, that's a good point. Also, I remember you had Jersey City's local actor who was here, Luke.
Derek Luke, yes. He was another
Luke.
one, a local Jersey City actor, and he's been here several times. Derek Luke, he's almost a regular here when he comes in town now. So, he's pretty much, he comes by the center a lot.
And you had a book, event, book signing event, Meet the Author, and it was Muhammad Ali's second wife.
I forgot which number it was.
It was number 2.
Yeah, we had her. Yeah, so, sometimes, like I said, over the course of 8 years, I've actually, I don't remember everything. You probably remember it better than I do. But yeah, we've had quite a, wide range of well-known celebrities come to the center and speak to the community.
And before we take a look at some of the center, one, you also sculpted Mary McLeod Bethune's statue, which sits at the entrance of the outdoor area, cultural arts area. We're going to go over and kind of shoot that for this event to show the people the statue and also this new park that was set up for the community, which is like really beautiful. There's also a parking area for those coming to the center, very close by, right off Fulton Avenue.
Yes.
And also, the center installed what is called Wall of Pioneers, of people who lived, a lot of them who grew up here in Jersey City, who have contributed on different levels to the city. And this is African Americans primarily that have contributed on, like I said, all different levels and brought a lot of skills and knowledge to the community. And this is important for people, especially young people, to come in and see those that came before them and what their accomplishments are. So this is one of the few places that I know, or maybe the only place that has such a wall of pioneers, or a wall of respect or fame that's based on the African American community here in Jersey City. So we're going to take a look at that, and as well as we're going to go out to this outdoor area and show you that as well. And it's our honor to be carrying out this interview with Alvin Pettit, who has brought a lot of change to this community through the Bethune Center, and is heading in the right direction. And people should come and take advantage of this center, because there's only one Mary McLeod Bethune Center in Jersey City, and this is the place and the place to be. Thank you. We're going to take a walkthrough here at the center, and Alvin is going to point out what the various spaces represent for the center, and that's such as this room, which I believe is the conference room for the center. Alvin?
So this is the conference room. We actually built this around 2014, 2015. just to give you a quick history, like I said, the downstairs area of the Bethune Center was predominantly used for local small businesses and whatnot. We kind of changed that, and now we actually have each room themed for a particular purpose. This is the conference room where we hold our staff meetings. We hold our staff meetings here. We actually rent the space out for community block associations or anybody that needs a conference room. They can come here and rent the conference room for their activities. As we go down the hall, we'll see different rooms that we have. We have a theater room, we have a martial arts studio, we have an art studio, a dance studio, as well as a game room. And so each room down here has a particular purpose that the community can use for very specific activities. Upstairs is left for basically event space. The walls are expandable, so you can actually open the space up and close it off as you need it upstairs. And down here we have the separate rooms that serve a particular purpose. So out here basically is where we have, this is the hallway of the first floor, and this is where we have our art gallery. So we bring in a lot of artists from locally, but just also not just locally in Jersey City, predominantly Jersey City, but also within the tri-state area. And basically they come here to display their arts and crafts. So this is the Bethune Gallery hallway, and we have artists here that the community loves. We sell the work for the artists, and it's been a really successful part of the center, and we keep it going where we change works maybe every 3 months for different reasons, like maybe we'll do something different for Black History Month, Women's History Month, that kind of thing. We have local artists here like Corey Ford, Prasanti, Sar, different artists that come to the center and use the center and also display their work here. So this is our Bethune Center theater room. This is actually used for smaller productions, more intimate settings. We have a large stage upstairs for big performances and big plays and larger events. But down here, this is actually for a smaller venue for people that want to come in and, like, say, for instance, a one-person theater show or a reading or something like that. So this is a black box theater that serves that purpose. One thing that we had going on here that we're hoping to bring back, or we will bring back as soon as we get over this COVID situation, is we had Indie Film Night. So we had our Bethune Center Indie Film Night where we invited a lot of local filmmakers from the community and other parts of Jersey City to come here and show their products and have a little audience and see how people take to their films. And it was very successful. We had people come here, and we would maybe do it once a month or so like that. So we're hoping to bring that back. We're under construction right now. Hopefully we'll have it finished very soon. We actually got some forward views in those little metal tin chairs. Now we actually have some professional real theater seating that we actually haven't installed here right now. That's why the mess is here. Actually having new projectors put in. We have a popcorn maker over there. We have a bar for serving beverages while events are going on. So yeah, this is one of the rooms that we think are really going to have bring an asset to the community, and people will enjoy it. And I'm looking forward to getting this thing done so we can get these programs going in here. So this is the Bethune Center's martial arts studio. Actually, we work with a Taekwondo school here taught by martial arts master Mike Garcia, local Jersey City martial artist. So we actually run classes here for kids that are free to the public and the community. And even though some of these things I'm saying are free, but these are still top-notch instructors. I mean, whether it's the martial arts, whether the other instructors we get here, I mean, these people really know their stuff. Just because it's free doesn't mean you're not getting the best. And this is one of the schools that we got a lot of community kids here, and they come in here and learn discipline and training and how to defend themselves and taught self-esteem. And it's one of the things that we're most proud of here in the center. So this is the Bethune Center's class/seminar room. This is where we host different type of lectures or training courses. This room is highly used by local city officials, such as firemen train here doing the written tests. Police have their training here with their written tests and exams. The community uses it for basically whatever type of seminar needs or class activities that are required. This room covers it. We have nice pedestal, we have nice whiteboards for writing, comfortable seating in here, state-of-the-art screen for basically conducting meetings and whatnot. So Yeah, this is when we had this redone maybe about a year and a half, 2 years ago. And, you know, it's one of the things that bring a different aspect to the center for people that want to do business courses and stuff like that. So, yeah, this is the seminar classroom. So, this is the Bethune Center Art Studio. This is where we host classes for teens. We have classes here for young kids, ages, I believe it's like 5 through 11. We also have classes here for seniors who come in here during the day and work with an instructor for arts and crafts projects. This has been one of our most highly used rooms, obviously, here at the center. We actually have classes here. Before the pandemic, we had classes that we had live figure modeling here for people that wanted to come here and learn anatomy classes. We had more craft classes, or people that come in, teachers to teach more things like abstract or creative projects. Back here was a project that I kind of was working on a few years back and kind of got busy. It fell through the cracks a little bit, but the goal here was doing portraits of seniors in the community. People that were, I think, what was it, like maybe 70 years and up or something like that, and they're still not dead in the water. As a matter of fact, we may even have a place in the park where we design the park where we can actually hang outdoor pictures in there and stuff like that, do outdoor galleries. So this is something hopefully to get back to, but yeah, these are all done in basically outside exterior paint to go outside. You can see we got Daoud there as one of our subject matters, and some other, Miss Virginia Miller, and some other well-known seniors of the community. So, yeah, over here we have some of the sketches from some of the students, as well as some of the sketches that some of us instructors did. Every now and then I would teach the classes myself as well, and hire other instructors to come in and host the classes. And these were from our anatomy class over here. So yeah, looking to bring this back and get the classes going back here for the community. Okay, so this is our event space up here at the Bethune Center. This is where we have, these are expandable areas where we have 7 or 8 different rooms up here where we basically can close the doors or open them up. Right now, currently the center is being used for vaccinations, so the public has been coming here for the last year or so to get their shots, their Moderna shots. But right now, but once that is finished up, then we will be using this space once again for people to come here to host their weddings. We've had baby showers, birthday parties, repasts, all sorts of things that the community uses this upstairs space for. So we keep this space flexible, we keep it open, just so that the community can come up here and basically can rent out the space from the Bethune Center as needed. Our main rental nights are Fridays and Saturdays for events, and hopefully after the COVID situation dies down, things are back to normal, we will have activities going on here, these rooms filled like before. And we also use these rooms up here for our fitness classes. We hold boot camp fitness up here. We actually hold different classes, yoga classes upstairs, downstairs, and up here, because fitness and health and wellness has also been one of our primary agendas here at the Bethune Center as well too. So our fitness classes, our boot camp fitness, our Tai Chi classes, our dance classes that the seniors come in during the day, like Soul Lion Dance, a lot of those are held up here in the event space. We have a big stage that's actually right behind this wall here that's sealed off right now, but we're going to be opening it back up very soon for plays and different activities, Zumba, all sorts of things. This is our event hall, and this is kind of where the majority of the community usually congregate and come up and enjoy the center and use the center. So this is the Bethune Center Wall of Pioneers. This was originated, I think, back in 2014 originally by somebody that helps us out a lot with the center, Gene McKnight, and I believe you were involved early on too, Daoud. This basically is pretty much more of an educational piece, so that people that can come to the center, they can see who helped pave the ways for all the things Jersey City is now. And predominantly this represents the African American community that has been largely in this area and in this neighborhood, and all the different things that they've done. You can kind of look and see all the different people that have been trendsetters, that have been pioneers, that have changed things, activists, and people during the civil rights movement, people that were involved with government or law enforcement. So what we're actually doing now, by the way, this is not our curating expertise. We do better than that. This is actually one thing we're working on now, Daoud and I and Sam, that we're doing is basically redoing the whole wall. So that's why the name tags are just pasted here right now, just kind of up, because it's just markers. What we're doing is recategorizing everything. So we took everything down, we repainted the whole upstairs here, and now we're putting back the pictures in different sections. So we have a section for like science and technology. We have another section for say arts and culture, another section for government and people in politics, and so that's what we're going to, each group of people is going to be under a certain category. And the idea, the concept is, what we hope to do is have it where people can come up and then do the scan on their phone where they can actually see, and then all the information comes up with the complete roster of everybody who's who on the wall and what they've done, and have their bios and whatnot. So it'll make it a much more interactive, I guess, aspect of the center. Rather than just coming looking at pictures, you can actually pull up all the information on the person, and I think it'll be a great, once this is finished, this is going to be a great asset to people coming to just learn not just what the center's about, but all those that have helped pave the way for this community in the African American community. And we also have, we're actually bringing in new inductees. We're going to hopefully do an event soon, and so yeah, Wall of Pioneers. Okay, so here we are at Mary McLeod Bethune Park. This park was just opened in July of 2021. It's a great addition to our Bethune Center. The things that are in the park are complementary to what goes on inside. Right now we're looking at the Mary McLeod Bethune sculpture. The monument as you come in, that's a sculpture that I did myself. I'm particularly proud of this for multiple reasons, but one of the main things, and as we're talking about Black History Month, I just felt it was very crucial and important for representation and art, using art to help bring representation in certain communities. And that can be done in monuments and art and different aspects. But it's important for young African American children to walk past coming out of school to see themselves and to see representation of themselves and those that have pioneered and paved the way, and know who these people are. And hopefully, you know, we'll get more of these in the city, and different diverse monuments and diverse statues representing all different types of cultures and different people. But that's why it was important to me to bring this here to the center as an artist, and to make sure that it was something that not just represented the Bethune Center, but represented an aspect of an African American woman, which this is the first, and to my knowledge only, African American woman statue in Jersey City. And it actually also helps bring the namesake to the center, as far as giving something, a visual to connect with the actual brick and mortar facility there across the street. So basically we'll walk around, do a quick little tour through the park, and we'll go by each section of the park and tell you how it relates to the center, the philosophy of the Bethune Center, and what we do here for the community. So Bethune Park was designed with very specific amenities to what we felt would represent the Bethune Center well as bringing an outside aspect to the center. And so here we have a children's playground. This is actually a workout obstacle course for people that want to do pull-ups and fitness. Over here we have sitting area. This is what really kind of like a passive park. You know, it's not meant for any kind of high recreation or anything, but more like relaxation and, you know, basic small family activities. All right, so one of the things that is kind of a jewel in this park, and an asset and a big brings a different whole aspect of the community, is our actually Bethune Center stage here. So we actually have an outdoor stage that's just built for performances, but we'll do outdoor concerts, we'll do outdoor poetry readings, spoken word, speeches, everything will be taking place here. Unfortunately, by the time the park was finished construction in July, we really didn't have a lot of time to put things together before it got cold and we're in the winter here. We're going into 2022, the summer is coming up, in the spring. We are looking forward to the community doing multiple things here and using the stage to really liven up this whole area, this whole block, this whole community with different types of events. The way that it was designed, we designed it so it's deliberately facing out, so if we have a big event taking place here during the summer, we can even possibly block off the street, and the whole this part of MLK between Fulton and Dwight Street, as well as the park, kind of become a whole amphitheater. Even though the stage has its own amphitheater seating, we want it to face MLK so that all of the community can see whenever there's an activity going on here. And people can just stand back and watch it, and jazz concerts, classic hip-hop performances. Sky's the limit of what we plan to do here, what can be done here. So we welcome the community to come bring your ideas and let us know. It's a Jersey City park, so you go through the same regulations as whatever renting out the park space, but here we invite more cultural activities to take place in this park. Okay, so another aspect of Bethune Park is we have more seating area over here. We have actually installed chess tables where people can come out and do their outdoor chess tournaments. We look forward to, when it gets warmer, people using that as well. If you can see over here, you can get another angle of the stage, as well as our amphitheater seating. This is some wonderful amphitheater seating we have out here as far as the way it's designed. And it's just a beautiful design. The way it wraps around the stage, the people just sitting out, having their lunches, watching the performance that'll happen. Over here, we have, this is basically an outdoor venue for outdoor activities. We're hoping to bring things such as merchandise bins here. We'll have farmers markets out space, so when things can happen, the weather changes and starts to rain, we can still do things out here in the park. We have a picnic and seating area over here for people that are just kind of want to come to lunch, lounge, enjoy the sun, or get some fresh air. So the park is a little something for everybody. And the activities that we have for also reflect what's going on in the center. For example, chess classes inside the center. Hope to bring back. So we have chess games out here. We have a nice stage inside of the center for indoor performances. We have a nice stage out here now. So this is an extension of the Bethune Center as people know it. And we look forward to things that we're going to be doing here this coming 2022 and ongoing years to come.
Well, that winds up our tour of the Mary McLeod Bethune Center with the director of the center, Alvin Pettit, and we want to thank him very much for taking us on a very enlightening tour of this great center and all the good work that they've been doing and much to come here in 2022 and beyond. Thank you very much, Alvin.
And thank you all for coming. And Daoud, I just also want to say, you and Sam, Daoud, CAS has been a part of the Bethune Center ever since we started our programming. What you all were doing down at Miller Branch Library at the time, what we were doing up here, we fed off of each other in the beginning. We're still feeding off each other today, because for a while, you know, there wasn't much cultural activity going on during the time what CAS was doing and what we were doing here. So we're grateful for you guys to come out and help give the center some exposure, let people know what we're doing here, and we continue also to keep going with our relationship with CAS and you personally and the talents that you bring and then continue to bring and that you've brought ever since I've been director. Thank you, Doug.
Quite welcome. All right, you take care and enjoy.
Hello, my name is Jerome Choice. I'm a long-term resident of the Lafayette community in Jersey City. I am here today to highlight the African burial ground that is in my community. This African burial ground is located in the vicinity of Johnson, Pine, Pacific, and Whiten Street. This burial ground was established by an early Dutch family called the Garabrands. They had a farm in this community in the early 1630s. And as a result of having slaves, they used an unused portion of their land so that the slaves can be buried. The Garabrands also was they came over to the United States at that time, come over to this country at that time in the early 1600s due to the Dutch West Indian Company. One of the heirs of the Garabrandt family was the commissioner for the highway between Communipaw and what we consider Bergen Square. I want to tell everyone in this city how this particular area is sacred for our community because it highlights the contribution that Africans made to the early development of this city. I am doing this to bring some notoriety to our community and to the notoriety of our ancestors who came here, who helped to develop this area. We're standing here in front of the house of a noted African-American female doctor by the name of Dr. Lena Edwards. She was a pioneer female doctor who came into Jersey City. She also worked at Margaret Haig. She delivered 5,000 babies. And also, after she left Jersey City, she moved down to Texas and started a hospital for migrant workers. And as a result, President Johnson gave her the Medal of Freedom, and that's the highest medal that you can get as a civilian. Here we are again at an important site in the Lafayette community. This parking lot was the former home of a very noted African-American doctor by the name of Dr. George Cannon. He was one of the very early civil rights advocates for blacks in the United States in this community. He was also instrumental in creating a film company by the name of the Frederick Douglass Film Company. And he used his films to advocate the positiveness of the black community. He also was an early pioneer because he established a bank, and the bank was called the John Brown Bank Company in Jersey City. This is another historic site in the Lafayette community. This church was formerly known as St. John AME Church. And according to church history, this church was a stop on the Underground Railroad. Prior to becoming St. John's AME, it was called the Lafayette Episcopal Methodist Church. And it was built by a major shipbuilder in the early 19th century. He was a Methodist, and the Northern Methodist was against slavery. And one of the ships that he built was used by another free man of color his name was Samuel Schuler Jr., and he used his ships to ferry slaves from New York up to upstate New York to Canada.
Welcome back, and a big thank you from the Community Awareness Series of the Jersey City Free Public Library. Thank you for joining us on this tour as we visited some of the people in the community doing positive work. A big thank you to Mr. Alvin Pettit, the director of the Mary McLeod Bethune Center, and a big thank you to Mr. Jerome Choice, who is the lead researcher on the African burial ground, as well as the Lafayette historian. We must remember we are celebrating African American History Month here in February, but also it is important to remember African American history is American history and it is world history. Thank you. Take care.